The alt-left, most likely members of Antifa, anarchists, and other people, have successfully used threats of violence to shut down or at the very least postpone the March on Google. This was following several articles coming out from CNN and other mainstream outlets saying that this was another alt-right march. This, of course, immediately provoked everyone to swarm towards it, considering all the momentum that's been gaining traction over the past week. Now, the very irony isn't lost on me that these anarchists and their associates are actually defending a corporation with whom they would normally be resisting against, because the censorship works their way. It's almost as if they don't realize that it's going to work against them at some point. But I wanted to take a look at a few articles. I have 3 articles I'd like to compare real quick. One from CNN Tech, one from USA Today, and one from Washington Post regarding the March on Google. Immediately within a paragraph or two, each one of them says more or less exactly this right here. The effort was announced last Wednesday by Jack Posobiec, a vocal Trump supporter and right-wing activist who is known for pushing the false Pizzagate conspiracy theory. After the white supremacist rally in Charlottesville, Virginia turned violent, March on Google released a post condemning and disavowing the violence and hatred, as well as all groups that espouse it. On Wednesday, a post on March on Google's website said it is postponing the march due to credible alt-left terrorist threats. Then we have the USA Today. The proposed March on Google was first announced by Jack Posobiec, a former Special Projects Director for Citizens for Trump during the 2016 election, and someone known for circulating fake news, including the baseless Pizzagate conspiracy theory. In a Medium post on August 9th, he suggested a march on Google offices worldwide because of its firing of James Damore, and because it's an anti-free speech monopoly. Then let's take a look at the Washington Post. And here it is. The rally's organizer, Jack Posobiec, is an alt-right activist and self-described reality journalist who used conspiracy theories to galvanize Trump supporters during the presidential campaign, including the infamous Pizzagate rumors of child trafficking. The alt-right, short for alternative right, is a small far-right movement that seeks a white-only state. Adherents of the alt-right are known for spouting racist, anti-Semitic, and sexist points of view. So it seems like, I'm going to give you my assumption, and I'm just firing from the hip here. This is just the impression I get. This is my gut instinct. It's like all of these people communicate behind closed doors on what exactly they're going to talk about. Isn't it odd that every single one of them brought up Jack Posobiec? I'm pretty sure there were a lot more people supporting it. Just wanted to point that out. To a person who's been paying attention to all of these people operating behind the scenes over the past decade, it seems very clear that these companies are just out to support Google. Their support is a little bit more subversive, though. I find it amusing that Donald Trump was successfully able to single-handedly relabel Antifa as alt-left, which of course made a lot of them very, very angry. Now, some of them say that they're not as bad as the alt-right, and some people are saying the alt-right is just as bad as the alt-left. While I disagree with the views of the alt-right has been getting permits for their demonstrations. I know a few alt-right people have attacked others, and it's not that simple, but the alt-left, Antifa, they actively organize violence. The people on the alt-right are directly going out to express their First Amendment rights, which, even though I disagree with their points of view, I find the idea of racial supremacy despicable, even though I know they're not racial supremacists. I know the whole idea of identitarianism is preservation of white culture and all that, and I don't necessarily buy into it. But I do think that they have every right to speak because they're American just like the rest of us. Antifa, they're trying to shut them down, and the implications of everything Antifa is doing is destructive and is dangerous to our way of life. Therefore, I do believe the alt-left is much more despicable. Even though I disagree with the alt-right on more of an ideological level, I disagree with everything Antifa and the alt-left stands for. Not just through their words, but with their actions. Not to mention that they almost set Berkeley on fire, they throw glass bottles with explosives at people, they torch people's cars, break windows of businesses. They're despicable in every sense of the word. But of course, every politician, every mayor that has spoken out only talks about the alt-right, which is why I appreciate Donald Trump directly name-dropping the alt-left, not just because it gave them a name, it made it popular, made it trend on Twitter for a day, but because it demonstrated that they are two sides to the same coin, even though I do think that one of them is more tolerable than the other, even if I find their ideas pretty terrible, in my opinion. But that's all I got for now. Let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments section, especially that part regarding the articles. I'm curious if you think they all might be talking behind closed doors about what they should report on. That sounds familiar. It almost sounds like we've been through this once or twice. I don't know. I'll leave you with that. You guys all have a nice night.